Pittsburgh was recently honored with a Golden Quill Award by the Western Pennsylvania Press Club. And while we were at the ceremony, journalist in Duquesne University, Professor Maggie Jones Patterson was honored with a Service to Journalism Award.
She not only inspired and prepared several generations of local journalists, but also broke barriers herself as a female journalist in the late 60s. We are so excited to welcome her to the show today. Thank you for spending some time with us.
My pleasure.
I just told you I was blown away by the introduction to you and then your speech when you accepted the award. Just hearing about what you went through starting out in journalism. And I was hoping you could share just a little bit of that with our viewers, because you were, it said, in the back room when you first started.
Well, the women's department was separate from the city desk, was where the buzz happened, and the news was the ticker tape from the AP wire was coming in, everything was going on. And then there was the women's department in the back, and there weren't any women working out front.
Yeah.
And I was told that that was because women couldn't work at night, that everybody had to take a turn. We were an afternoon paper, but everybody had to take a turn working at night, and it wasn't safe for women to be there. But I knew the cleaning women were there at night, and I said something which I think the managing editor thought I was a smart aleck, but actually I was just an observation.
Yeah.
I had worked there as an intern, and I saw them at the women coming in to clean.
And there was a moment that kind of transformed everything for you when you finally kind of broke through and unfortunately had to prove yourself, but you proved yourself that you could be out there.
Well, at the time that I started, the second wave feminism was just really taking hold. And that changed what was considered women's news. It wasn't just, you know, the local women's club and the card party at the church. It was real news about actions being pulled and protest demonstrations. And so, yes, I went to interview Betty Friedan, who was the leader of the National Organization for Women and the author of The Feminine Mystique, the landmark book that launched second wave feminism.
Great. That's great.
Yeah. And so, you know, a lot of people are talking about the future of journalism, and why is journalism in so much trouble today?
Well, basically because the economic bottom has fallen out.
Yeah.
The print journalism that was supported by print advertising, and that's no longer the foundation. And so we have, I think it's like 70% of journalists have been laid off from print journalism, and we have news deserts, particularly in rural areas, but places where people aren't getting any local news.
It's really, I mean, it's really unfortunate, and it's scary because we know that a lot of people are turning to social media to get their news, and you're not always going to get the most accurate or, you know, all the information to the story.
Well, I think so. Getting news from social media and also from cable news is producing polarization, because it's coming from a particular viewpoint, and it's also the source of much misinformation and deliberate disinformation.
Right. So you're still at Duquesne University. You're still educating and preparing the next generation of journalists. What is the information that you're giving them to kind of fight back against this and keep local journalism alive?
Well, I think that the foundation is still the same, that democracy is based on informed citizens. And we have to think about that, not that every single story or every piece of journalism we do has to be dead serious, but that we are the entity that brings the public into being and creates the issues that we talk about, sets the agenda. So it's important. That's not going to change.
Yeah. I wonder, can you leave us with a story where you saw, like, the journalism you did, like, making a difference?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, and I'm sure it's every day.
Yeah.
I think that where I saw a story that I did made a difference.
Or you know, someone around you,
Well, the story I was talking about Betty Friedan, I mean, that whole women's movement that made women the center of news. Moved us out of the back room and into the area of city news. That whole barrier against women working at night and working in serious news tumbled as a result of that.
Right.
Well, you've made such a difference, and we're just so happy that you could share some of your experience and stories with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And congrats on your award.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. To find out more about Duquesne Journalism's program, head to kdk.com/talkpittsburgh.